Are you excited, Jamil?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about it.
We're gonna do a video survey. We have all the questions in a sheet, and as people come by, we're gonna ask them a couple of questions related to our honor study topic.
Does technology distract you from other things you're supposed to be getting accomplished, like homework?
Yeah, completely.
And why?
Well, there's always stuff happening in technology. There's all kinds of buttons to press. It makes pictures pop up. It captures me more than pencil, paper, and why osmosis happens.
Rely on the technology more than any other source when it comes to your research studies, and what sources do you use?
For the most part, I prefer to use the internet. I use a couple good journals and books as well, but for the most part, the internet.
How many hours a day would you say you spend online compared to homework, family, and work currently?
Currently about 2 hours a day.
And how would this number compare to about 5 or 10 years ago?
Probably about double. I'd say 5 years ago maybe an hour or so, and now doing much more research for homework as well as the introduction of Facebook.
Have you ever taken online classes at Macomb Community College? Why or why not?
I have not taken classes yet so far. I probably will be in the future. Right now I'm in the nursing program, and nursing is definitely more hands-on. You would not be getting the instruction I feel that those courses demand, especially anatomy and physiology. It needs to be hands-on.
How often do you use the computer, internet, for non-educational use during school?
During school, only in between classes, check email, check Facebook, keep in touch via my iPhone. So I would say a half hour a day.
Have you ever taken online classes at Macomb?
Yeah, I took one online class.
And do you think that was beneficial or not?
To me, it's beneficial because I've already been introduced to the material in my spare time, but otherwise it's pretty challenging.
How often do you go online during school time?
During computer-related courses, I go on pretty often, but otherwise I never do.
What is your preferred way to study or hang out?
I prefer to hang out face-to-face with people because you can actually do fun activities with each other and see each other's expressions when you're talking, and there's really not much miscommunication that way.
Do your professors use the audio and video that is available in the classroom?
Yes, they do. In lab, my teacher's shown videos on how to do different techniques with animals or prepare for surgery. So yeah, it's been very helpful, and I can always watch them again.
And do you feel that computer use is helpful for school?
Yes, I do. I've had to learn horse breeds, dog breeds, different types of animals, and I'm able just at my leisure to go online and go to Google Images, and I can see all the different breeds that I need to see, and I don't have to go out and get books. So it's just wherever there's a computer, I can look at that anytime.
All right. In your opinion, how important is computer knowledge in order for you to do well on your classes here at MCUC?
Well, since I'm part of the Media Communication Arts program, it's very important to have A, computer, and B, CS5. It's very important. And knowledge of the internet is very important, and it's becoming more and more every day.
Have you ever taken online classes at Macomb Community Colleges?
I have not, because they really aren't offered for what I'm studying.
Academically, do you feel that subject matter is easier to learn online or in class?
I would say in class. Online, you have to work independently on the subject. Rather, if you go in class, you kind of get the teacher's opinions and you get to ask them.
Do you feel that computer is helpful for school? Why not?
Yes, because computers open so many more doors to people for learning. People who can't get to school, people who can't drive, they can work on their computers at home.
How often do you use computer/internet for non-educational purposes during school?
During school? Anytime I'm not in class or not doing anything, on Facebook.
Okay. Do you think that audio and video inside the classroom is helpful for learning, or is it too fancy and nobody uses it?
It can be helpful. Some people only learn from hearing things and seeing things, not just hearing lectures and stuff. So it's definitely helpful. Okay.
Do you feel that the computer is useful for school, and why?
Yes, it's useful for school because it helps people get their projects done a lot faster. If you have to do papers for certain classes, it's got spell check, grammar check, and it's a lot neater so professors can grade you on the quality of your work, not how messy your handwriting is.
What is your preferred way to communicate for serious issues?
I'd rather communicate face-to-face because then you can see a person's emotions, their reactions, and you actually really know what they're saying, whether they say one thing or the other.
Do you rely on technology more than any other source when it comes to your research studies?
When I look up things and doing research, majority of my research comes from the internet, actually. New research that's available every day.
Okay. Does technology distract you from other things you're supposed to be getting accomplished, like homework?
It does, actually. I find myself, on Facebook or emailing friends when I'm supposed to be doing some little homework assignment.
Does technology distract you from the other things you're supposed to be getting accomplished, like homework?
Yes, indeed, like video games, messaging people, like Facebooking, Twittering, things like that.
Do you think there is a specific group of people who are being left behind when it comes to advances in technology? Which groups?
Absolutely. I would say middle-aged people in general, blue-collar workers, people who were born just prior to the advances in the computer technology before, say, 1977. They're kind of left out, disenfranchised in a lot of ways, and it's kind of hard playing catch-up primarily when you've been working most of the time, having to provide for families.
Do you think relationships would be less or more meaningful without the use of technology compared to face-to-face communication?
I would say face-to-face communication is more preferable, it's more natural, it's something that we really need to stay on, but technology has also enhanced that because we've been able to have relationships over long distances and keep in touch more frequently and more timely.
Do you think there is a specific group of people who are being left behind when it comes to advances in technology? Which groups?
I think the groups that are being left behind are the mothers like me that have been home for a long time, myself being 12 years. And we're trying to meet up with the technology that's going on now. So we have a lack of understanding. So I think the groups like me, the mothers, stay-at-home moms.
Do you think most of your professors are computer literate?
I think all the professors are computer literate, but I think they're too literate in some cases, and they need to slow down to help the people that are not.
Today we are here with President Jim Jacobs, the president of Macomb Community College. Do you think that technology is advancing our communication skills or hurting them?
No, I think it's advancing communication skills. I think it gives people more power over their ability to express themselves. They can not only write things, they can do movies, they can draw pictures and graphs. So I think it's really an implementer of various skills. So I think it can be very, very useful.
Do you think there is a specific group of people who are being left behind when it comes to advances in technology?
There's a technological divide. Some of it has to do with income. Some people can't afford some of the new technologies. Some of it has to do with place. There are people in rural areas that aren't served by the internet. And then third, I think there also are people who are going to schools where technology is not being encouraged, or they have no access to it, or the schools don't have the resources. So all those kinds of people are going to be faced with significant problems. It used to be that it was age. It used to be that those people who grew up, let's say before 1995, 1990, before the internet, they had problems. Increasingly, it's not so much age anymore. It's really a question of whether you use the technology on a regular basis, feel comfortable with it, are able to get information, and there are lots of people who just don't do it for a number of reasons, and they are going to be shut out of the future. Yes.
In your opinion, how important is computer knowledge in order for students to do well in their classes here at Macomb College?
It's a way in which you can access information quickly, and it's a way in which you can be, in a sense, autonomous and make decisions for yourself. In other words, one of the things which is very, very important in being a good student is to be aware of things around you. Everything from the weather to what the assignment is going to be next week, etc. Technology really gives you a chance to do that. So that's one. The second, it's obviously important in your own classes, ability to write papers, the ability to do mathematical computations with Excel. I don't think you can be a successful student anymore at Macomb or any college unless you have some level of technology. I know students more and more are using PowerPoint in presentations. You're expected when you have a resume. I mean, you can't handwrite out a resume. It's expected to look a certain way, which technology really helps facilitate. So that's the second reason. The third, and I think the one that's the most interesting, is the technology allows you as a student to interact with other students, to actually learn things faster and to be more efficient as a student. In other words, especially at a school like Macomb, where you have students who are working, students who are going to school, you don't have a lot of time. So you can't easily meet with your friends to study together, but you can all get online at certain times and do in fact exchange information and do in fact work together on projects. So actually the technology allows the students to learn faster and more effectively.
Okay. So you would agree then that Facebook would be a good tool for students to communicate with each other?
Yes, Facebook is a very good tool.
Awesome.
My kids use Facebook. My wife uses Facebook, but I don't use Facebook. But I really encourage other students to do it. I also encourage, and this is something which I think most students know, but it's always worth repeating, not everything you hear or do on Facebook or any of these sites, you should believe or necessarily, you should always try to validate, especially when it doesn't sound right, it probably is not right. I'm all for the technology, but I'm not going to be the one to use it.
All right, okay. Well, you have your valid reasons. Thank you very much for your time.
In conclusion, Facebook was mentioned 12 times. While one person liked their online class, 3 preferred in-class.
There's also a technological divide, which affects different groups of people, such as stay-at-home mothers, people in rural areas, people depending on their income, people that also don't use technology very frequently.
Most people prefer face-to-face rather than other forms of communication.
These are the ways that technology affects students. How does it affect you?